This is Jason Verney's podcast. I am Jason Verney. First of all, I'm broadcasting this from above my recording room, recording studio, recording room. Often I record these in there. Occasionally I do the odd one on the fly, on the go. This one I chose to do outside above, just because it's a pretty nice day. Excuse me for my nasalness. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I also thought if it's a bit of it's a breath of fresh air, obviously, literally being outside. And the particular thing I want to talk about is also a breath of God, I can't speak. A breath of fresh air, because it's an offer or a great sideline to an already existing wonderful platform. Excuse me. Now, what I was going to talk about, or what I will talk about, is the platform and the film platform MUBI. MUBI.com. That's MUBI.com. And the reason for this is there's many film platforms these days to see movies. There's, of course, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all this, and God, there's so many now. But MUBI.com is something that I was aware of quite a few years ago, probably not long after I started my website, minimovie.com. I want to just plug that a little bit there. Excuse me. And it's something I was aware of. It's kind of changed its format a little bit recently, but initially it's a movie platform where you can access fantastic foreign films, fantastic independent films, fantastic mainstream films, and fantastic, let's say, international Hollywood great films. I mean, for example, a couple of years ago, Paul Thomas Anderson, him behind Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and Phantom Thread, he launched a music documentary on that, unique to MUBI.com. And excuse me, although its structure has changed recently, and perhaps not to everybody's agreement or approval, one of those main things it's changed, and this has been quite a while. It's not too recently, but it's been going for a good couple of years or so, maybe longer. Every day there was a new film that's put on the website, put on the site for you to see, and you have 30 days to see the film. Now, some people don't like that because you have, nobody particularly some people don't like the fact that they have to watch a film within a certain time scale. But it introduces a new film every day, and 30 days you have to watch that film. So there's not always going to be films you want to watch. I found some real gems on there, from films I've never seen in the past, ones that I've missed in the cinema, ones that have come back around, films from China, films from Japan, films from the UK, even films that have recently done the cinema circuit. The MUBI, they have a great way of promoting independent films and tying in with cinemas. And even if I mention, you can probably feel the wind there because there it goes. Even if I mention my local Lexi cinema in Kensal Rise, they have a nice little tie-in with them, and also Genesis Cinema. Basically, the independent cinemas out there, or those that are less than independent but trying their best, they will have a film, and they'll give you a month or two's free MUBI subscription as well as screening that particular movie. But what they've now done, they've now launched MUBI Go. Now, this, as far as I'm aware, this is the same. It goes with the subscription, which is only $7.99 a month. You might be able to find some free trial deals out there, but it might even be less in the future, or limited time offers at $4.99 or $5.99 or what have you. Because I personally dip in and out of MUBI.com when I have the time, when I see an offer, or I'm just intrigued. So I mean, you can go on there on MUBI.com and see what films they have before you either create an account or re-establish an account that you had before, or you basically take up a new subscription. You can see what they have had. You can see what's just gone as well to give you an impression what you've missed, but give you an impression rather of what to expect. But yeah, MUBI Go. Now what they're doing is, so you get exactly the same as what I just mentioned, but you also get, every week they're giving away a free cinema ticket. Now I don't mean this is a prize thing. Actually, as far as I can make out, and as far as I've read from the press details and the emails and the various things out there on the internet, they pick a film and you get to see that film, a choice of cinema, and then the cinemas aren't as limited as you'd expect. So there's a really good choice. In other words, just to give you an example, when you go into MUBI Go, the app, there's a special app dedicated to this. It asks for your location, so you then get to see the cinemas. For example, where the area that I'm in, there might be a View cinema. So believe it or not, they've now got a deal with View to allow MUBI subscribers to have a free film. But just to backtrack a bit, the particular the way it works is you put in your details, location, which is quite normal for a lot of these cinema things. I mean, if you go into Odeon or whatever, it will ask you, it will often suggest your local cinema. But not only that, it's not just got the big cinemas. In fact, it's probably got just as many small ones, like the Rio cinema comes up, ICA might come up. And to give you an example, the first film that they're giving away free, because they actually pick the films. It's not like you get a free ticket every week of your choice, as in, yeah, sure, it might be the cinema of your choice from the ones that come up, but the current pick is the Miseducation of Cameron Post. Now, I know that the Genesis Cinema are playing that, and in fact they're one of the cinemas that come up when you put your location details in, even though it's quite away from me. I'm in northwest London. That's in Mile End area, but I often rave about the Genesis Cinema. It's a family run independent cinema. It shows mainstream films and also independent, so I love it. The Lexi, Genesis Cinema, those two especially. But yeah, as I say, I should probably mention before I forget, this app is only currently iOS, so it's Apple applicable at the moment, but they reckon that Android version will be released at the end of September. So I just think that even though there's so much competition out there with Netflix, Amazon and all these other companies, all these other platforms, this extra bonus, even if you don't watch that many films out of the 30 that are shown, well, there's so many that, that are one a day for 30 days or on average in a month, you still get a chance to see, well, you do get an opportunity, and you do get to see a screening in a cinema once a week. So it's a really good deal. I'm just trying to read up on some other information about it here. Excuse me, it sounds like I'm losing my voice, and perhaps I am. So lucky you. So yeah, if you Google MUBI Go, not to be confused, of course, with Moby and Go. Moby, the musician who is fantastic, and in my opinion, and also he had an album called Go and a single called Go, and I think it was an album called Go. But not only that, the connection between MUBI and Moby is also that Moby does a lot for filmmakers as well, and I can go into that in another podcast if you'd like me to, and I might even just do it anyway, even if you don't like me to. But what they're planning to do, I guess they've got it. I think they've got about in the UK. MUBI have got 600,000 subscribers, and I didn't realise this, but there's obviously a lot of people out there who are interested in foreign films, independent films, real films that aren't just regurgitating the same Hollywood stuff. And as I say, that's not to say that every now and again a film doesn't come up there on MUBI that's not in the mainstream. There's very often ones that are, but it's an interesting. I mean, I'll just give you an example of what's currently on MUBI. This is just the website. This is nothing to do with the cinema aspect that I mentioned. But you've got a film. First of all, you've got a film from Canada, films from the US. My Man Godfrey from 1936 from the US. Cambodia Spring, an excellent documentary that I saw recently. Let's try and find some stuff that's not just. They're doing a mini season. They do lots of seasons as well of films. There goes the wind again. That's not a film title. That's me just saying that there's a bit of wind around me. The weather kind. We have the Andromeda Strain. Now that's a very well known film from 1971, made by Robert Wise. 8.5. That's Federico Fellini. So Fellini from 1963. So these are the current months, or the last 30 days, the films that have come up. Shadow of a Doubt, Alfred Hitchcock. Cry Baby, that's John Waters, which has got Johnny Depp starring in it. So I mean, there's so many. So it's not just all these. It's not all art house films, and they do great. They do great seasons, maybe feminist seasons, short film seasons, tie-ins with films that are out at the cinema. I believe that's what you'd call it. But as I say, Cape Fear is on there as well. One of the versions. 1962 J. Lee Thompson version. Yeah. But I was kind of impulsed to do this podcast briefly because I was just so happy for MUBI. I mean, one day they might turn into this big conglomerate or get taken over by another company, or I don't know, but I've always supported them on and off. I don't access them all the time, but I think their heart is in the right place, and they are broadcasting, and also they are broadcasting great films, and they believe in the fact that cinemas are not going to die, and that's where you should also see a film. But they're trying to bring those films that don't get seen that much to the online market or online audience, and I really think excuse me, and I really think that they're doing a great job. And so when I found out that this, basically I got a press release and information earlier today that this was going, they've released MUBI Go, and to the fact that now I can go and see this free film this week if I wanted to, and then next week a new film and so forth. I just think it's just a great it's just a great way forwards, and it's a great addition to people that want to see films in a cinema, and gives them a bit of a, keeps them in touch with the reality of the cinema seat, as opposed to sitting at home in the living room on their bed or wherever watching a film. So I think it's a really good thing, and I really wanted to I just wanted to record this and mention that to you. I'll put an article up on minimovie.com, my website. In fact, you'll probably know that if the podcast if this podcast is a part of the article, then you'll see that perhaps via the article first. So that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that, because I'm coming down with a cold. I'm getting over a cold or chest thingy, and I just wanted to do this while it's fresh, and I suppose I had a little bit of excitement about this venture. Let's hope it goes well for MUBI. Okay, I will leave it at that, and I'll bid you all farewell. Speak to you again. See ya.